Hi, friends. I just finished practicing Bhavishya Kriya of Intuition with my Yoga with Chris community. It's freaking awesome. First Friday of every month we do Kundalini. We invite in my Kundalini community members as well. It's a beautiful blend. I'm here today to talk to you about intuition and how our intuition relates to the nonlinear aspect of time. Right? What does that even mean, Chris? Okay, I'm going to tell you. So, first of all, this Kriya is calibrating our intuition, and everybody has intuition, whether we know it or not. We all have intuition. It's just whether we have the ability to listen to it, whether we have taught ourselves to ignore it, or have convinced ourselves that we don't have intuition. Truth of the matter is, we have intuition. We just don't necessarily connect with it anymore. As adults, we are told again and again, well, that doesn't make sense, or think about it and let's rationalize it. And we come up with excuses why what we feel and what we know isn't accurate. And so that in essence is we're getting rid of our intuition, and that is such a shame. So this Kriya that we do is calibrating and recalibrating our intuition, because that intuition is how we align and take aligned actions, how we know in our bones that we are in the right place, and how we can listen to the universe and to the downloads that we receive from source, from God, from universe, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, Gaia, fill in the blank for your terminology. And so with this intuition, as we calibrate it, we deal with that clairsentience and that clairaudience, and that, so those are the listening to that voice, the feeling of knowing it's right or aligned. I don't necessarily like the word right, but knowing it's aligned. And then also maybe even seeing those images sometimes with our inner eye, not necessarily the seeing with our eyes open, but when we close our eyes and those images in our mind's eye, that third eye that we can see, that inner eye as it opens. So all of those are aspects of intuition. And if we are not aligned with those, if those are not calibrated, we cannot connect with them. And so when we connect with them and we start to access our innate intuition, which is in every single one of us, we can start to see and understand our place in the universe, the direction we want to head, and the aligned choices we need to take. For example, as I was preparing for this class I led this morning, I usually like to come up with it at least a couple days. I don't do too far out because I like to feel into the energy of where everybody is and kind of what we're going through and who's going to be there and things like that. But I usually like to have a plan a couple days before. And I kept trying to figure out what Kriya we were going to do. I kept trying to call in what practice we needed for this morning, and I just couldn't do it. Like I kept coming up with ones that was like, that's not it. Not this one, not this one. And I got to the point where I couldn't even think about it anymore. And so this morning, as I was doing my morning sadhana, I was thinking, okay, this is it. Like, let's put the pedal to the metal. Like, it's time. I got to teach this class in a little bit. And I was still thinking, like, I don't really, it's not time. It's not time. I'm not ready. And then this thought came into my mind of, Chris, you need to build your own Kriya for this. And then my monkey mind, that rational mind of like, oh, you can't do that. You don't know enough, blah, 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 blah. All of those stories come in, and I put it aside. So then the time came and I thought, okay, I listened to my intuition. I took a few breaths. I felt into it, and I realized, okay, I can do this. This is what the universe is asking, because my intuition is telling me none of the Kriyas I have that I have been handed or that are in my realm of awareness right now are fitting quite right for this. And so I grabbed my Kriya book to get some ideas to start to play with things, and it literally falls on the ground open to Bhavishya Kriya of Intuition. Thank you, universe. So I don't believe that if I had planned this 2 days ago or even yesterday, I would have had that awareness. I let myself feel into the timing of what we needed, of when I needed to start to really prepare for this and think about this, even though I was constantly thinking about it. And then I trusted myself. Okay, I can do this. And the universe provided, right? And whether it was coincidence or not, you can think about that. But that intuition led me to this place. And this Kriya was exactly what we needed today. And now I have the seed planted for next month. Maybe I will build my own Kriya, right? Who knows? Didn't have that thought before this morning through that whole process. And so the other part of this intuition that I want to give you, there's two more things I want to give you. One is that self-doubt that comes in when we have those moments of connection with our intuition. Those self-doubts, we are our own worst enemy. Those moments of self-doubt are simply ourselves putting roadblocks in the way. Those downloads, those knowings, no matter how crazy it is, no matter how wild it seems, that's your intuition talking to you. Listen to it. Amazing things will happen when you listen to it. The other part of that is that this brings in a concept of time being nonlinear. And this will be a whole nother video that I'll do later on, because I could literally go on and on and on until time stops about this concept. So Bhavishya means history of the future. I love that, history of the future. And so this brings in that concept of, we think of time linearly, right? Time, we think of a timeline, like we're taught about time linearly. There is a line of time. It happens this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and this. What if time is, I think of it more of this nebulous cloud with these points of connection, and we can touch all of those points of connection at any point, right? And so no longer is it once it's done, it's done. It is, oh, there are aspects of myself in this cloud of time that are still alive and I can tap into. And then there's aspects of this, of myself, that are in this cloud that I haven't really met yet, but I can tap into, so that future and past come together into the present. That is super empowering and super powerful knowledge and connection to have. That leads our intuition. The understanding that there are myriad versions of ourselves, even in this present moment, we are constantly making choices and there are constantly new versions of ourselves. This past version of ourselves has done things and learned things. This future version of ourselves has done things that we in this present moment haven't done yet, but we have that knowledge, right? And we can bring everything together in this beautiful, sparkly cloud of time and activate the connection to past, present, future, all in one moment. That is our intuition. Right? Mind blowing. So I encourage you today to play with this concept, right? Take a moment and you have to listen. You have to listen. You have to slow down. If we are running through our day, not paying a bit of attention, we will never hear that intuition. So you have to stop and slow down. You have to feel your body. Oh my gosh, there's so many things I want to talk about. Megan, I'm going to make a bunch more videos for you all. So there, you have to feel your body, because our intuition resides here. Those signals come from here. Our signals come from here, not this, but here. And if we are not paying attention, we're not going to get them. And those signals are built and we move with them from past, present, future into the whole. So pay attention, stop and listen. And maybe, excuse me, maybe if you have one crazy thought today that feels really good, like, oh, where did that come from? Do it. Freaking do it. See what happens. Don't let this get in the way and say, oh, no, that's silly. What does that even mean? Where does that come from? That's stupid. That's just a crazy thought. Maybe it's not a crazy thought. Follow through and see what happens. And let me know how it goes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to hear from you about it. So play with that intuition, tap into it, see where it leads you, and know that you have the access to the power of the past, future, and present self in one. Hey, have fun playing, my friends. I will see you very, very soon again. Let me know how it goes. Satnam.